Well, friends, here we are in 2022. Now, for a number of you out there who've wanted to improve on the guitar, you've probably got to the point where you figured out you got to learn the notes on the guitar if you want to start making more progress, because eventually you are going to hit a wall. Not to mention, sometimes when you're jamming with people who know what they're doing on the guitar, you might find yourself in an embarrassing situation where they say, "Hey man, yeah, play the C sharp on the A string," and you're kind of like, what? A what now? A what now?
What now?
That's not a fun situation to be in. One of the great things about this channel is I always say, I don't want people to make my mistakes, help them skip over the mistakes, get better on the guitar quicker. So what happens once people start understanding the chromatic scale, the layout of the notes on the guitar, they get into this awkward phase. The phase will be, now if you don't know what the chromatic scale is or the layout of the notes, look up my theory lessons. Theory lesson number 1. I lay out the notes on the guitar really basic for anyone who's brand new to it. Okay, my theory lessons are designed to help things make sense for people that don't understand it. Anyway, but you're going to probably find yourself, once you start to get an idea of what the notes are, in that awkward phase of saying, okay, well, the 6th fret on the E string. Well, okay, so that is, and you have to start the open strings and go E, F, F sharp, G flat, G, G sharp, A flat, A. But I'm going to show you 2 little hacks that are going to help you blast through that and get to the next level of having the notes memorized on the guitar. The first one is this. What I just showed you. We are starting at the open string. When you always have to start the open string, count your way up, even if it's at the 10th fret. If we almost bisect exactly the neck, so we've got 12 frets here. Okay, let's just think up to the 12th fret. And if we look at the 5th fret and we just memorize the notes in that area on each string, it's very simple. If you ever see people tuning the open strings, especially when they do it by ear, they get a sound reference. But if we say the 5th fret on the low E string, okay, so I'm playing the 5th fret, it's the same note as the open A string, okay? So for the most part, we do that pattern. Okay, and then we go to the 5th fret on the A string, it's the same note as the open D string, okay? 5th fret on the D string, same as the open G string. But now here, little trick with the tuning, we got to go to the 4th fret on the G string, and then that is the same note as the open B string. 5th fret on the B string, and that's the same note as the open E string. Okay, so we can basically say then 5th fret on the A string, if we memorize this, 5th fret on the E string is A, we know that's an A. So going back to that previous scenario, if you have that memorized and you know the 5th fret is A, you can say, okay, well, the 5th fret is A, so then I don't have to go up the whole neck then to figure out what the 6th fret is. I know it's A sharp or B flat. Because you know as A is your reference. You're splitting the string in half, so you don't have to go up the whole string. Might sound simple, almost too simple really, but it's a really good and effective strategy. Okay, that's one simple hack that will help you memorize the strings instead of having to always reset starting at the open string. Okay, start putting that into practice. Just memorize that, right? So if someone says, okay, well, what is the 7th fret on the G string? So instead of you saying, okay, open G, going up the string, well, we already know that the 4th fret is a B. C, C sharp, D flat, and D. Therefore, we know that the 7th fret on the G string is a D, okay? The next hack I'm going to show you is something called octaves. So let's say the 3rd fret on the low E string. Actually, let's look at the 5th fret, okay? Because we know that's an A, okay? Now, if we go 2 strings down and 2 frets up, that's A, an octave higher. So therefore, if we can remember that pattern, if we know that the 5th fret on the E string is A, well, 2 strings down, 2 strings up is A as well, okay? You can start to memorize that when you look at the guitar neck. Same thing. If we go on the A string, if we go on the 5th fret, okay, so now we know that the 5th fret on the A string is a D. Same as the open D, okay? 2 strings down, 2 frets up. Well, we know that the 7th fret on the G string is a D now. When we get to the D and the G string, it's a little bit different. We're going to go down 2 strings, but up 3 frets. Okay? So we know that the 5th fret on the D string is G, same as the open G. Remember, we're memorizing in that position what those notes are. So if we go down 2 strings and count up 3, okay? Now traditionally we're going to play it with our first and our pinky finger. Okay? We know that that's a G. So now you know where the G is on your B string. And on the G string as well, so if we play the 4th fret on the G string, which we learned previously as a B, okay, 2 strings down, 3 frets up, we know that that is a B as well. So now we know where the B is on our high E string. All right, so you can take that shape anywhere. So if we go on the 8th fret on the low E, we know that note's a C, down 2 strings, up 2 frets. Well, now we know where the C is on the D string. And so on and so forth around the neck. Those are 2 simple hacks, guys. Get that into your playing. I'm telling you, it's going to really help you with memorizing the notes on the guitar. And when you have the notes memorized, it's such a good feeling. You've got this nice freedom in your playing. If you don't have it memorized, it's going to really hold you back. You're going to find that as you try and progress. So that's why I always encourage people, know the notes on the guitar, folks. Again, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, the layouts of the note and the chromatic scale, check out my section on theory lessons. Go to theory lesson number 1. It's really laid out very easy for beginners. All right, guys, remember, practice hard, practice smart, and we'll see you soon.